Before diagnosis, I had absolutely no clue about myeloma. Fell down the Google rabbit hole and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be dead in 2.5 years.
The biggest thing was, am I going to be around to see my children grow up?
Myeloma is a type of blood cancer. Black communities are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop myeloma. Would you know how to spot the early signs?
Looking back, I noticed there was quite a few symptoms that I had before I was diagnosed. One of them was tiredness. I would get up in the morning and do my usual day, but I'd come home feeling really exhausted. But then I realised even on days when I wasn't doing much, I'd be really, really, really tired.
I was always very active, and outgoing, and I realised I wasn't the same person anymore. And I couldn't understand why I was so exhausted. I was literally like falling asleep all the time.
I was having severe, pressing sort of pain in my arm, inside the bone. And that is difficult to explain to anyone that you're feeling pain inside your bone.
It was as if my bones were being squeezed in a device, and it was really, really excruciating pain. And I would say to my kids that I felt like something was eating me from the inside out, and that's the way I could describe it.
Most people are diagnosed with myeloma after a major bone breakage, a bone that you wouldn't necessarily break because of the holes in your bones.
I could hardly stand for a period of time, and it just feels like the bones will break in any moment.
Knowing the symptoms of myeloma could help you get the treatment you need sooner. Early diagnosis means better treatment options and a better chance of living well. Symptoms include persistent pain, especially if it gets worse with movement, bones that break more easily than expected, ongoing fatigue that rest doesn't fix, repeated infections, kidney problems, numbness or tingling in your hands or feet.
For me, it's about trust.
I'm not a crier, and I feel like sometimes the only time I've been heard is when tears have been involved.
I noticed that if you look a certain way, or if you don't have the normal crying or screaming, but you can put yourself together but still be in pain, then you're not going to get listened to.
My body changed so quickly, and I couldn't get my head around it. And because I know my body, I know something was actually wrong.
When you feel pain, nobody can tell you, what pain you're in or how it hurts. Only you know that. So if you know that you're in pain, just keep pushing and keep seeking help. Don't stop.
I do push, not aggressively, but moderately. I will get to where I want to be. So I asked the doctor for a blood test, because with the myeloma, it shows a certain protein that they can identify.
It's difficult to get doctor's appointments now, we all know that, but perseverance is key. We only get one body, we get one chance at life. Advocate for yourself.
Myeloma is treatable, and it is possible to live well with myeloma. Spotting the symptoms early gives you the best chance of getting quality care and living well for longer.
Sometimes I think my treatment wouldn't be as aggressive at the time if I'd have known before or I'd seen the signs before.
It actually helped me with my journey to educate myself and find out about myeloma. It's a learning curve for me. When I was reading the research, myeloma is more in the Afro-Caribbean community.
Yeah, I had my stem cell transplant and that went really well. I had a plan with the children, so when my hair did fall out, they painted my head, put glitter on it, I wore a tutu, like silly clothes. I was like, you guys are gonna make sure that Auntie gets better and my hair grows back.
With the myeloma, at the moment, there is no cure, but it can be treated. I was told I'm in good remission. I'm able to walk gently, not in the marathon, but I'm able to do a lot of things for myself.
But for many of us, cancer isn't something we speak about openly.
There is stigma in our community. If you say, oh, you have cancer, say you are dead. So this is stigma, isn't it?
The taboo of it being embarrassing. Like, it's not embarrassing to be ill. Just things happen to the body. It's not always going to work for us.
We don't talk about our health issues openly. I'm not sure whether it's fear or ignorance.
Part of the problem is lack of awareness, but it goes deeper than that. It is important to have access to the right information, the right care, and to be empowered to speak up when something doesn't feel right.
If you go to GPs, you'll see all information about cancer and so on. You never see myeloma.
Even though it's difficult to explain to people, I would like our community, the Black community, to be able to grasp what myeloma is all about.
Black communities face higher risk and greater barriers to diagnosis of myeloma. Raising awareness can help tackle unequal access to care.
The amount of people that, came up to me and said, you know what, thank you so much for even sharing your symptoms, because I felt this. I didn't know how to describe it to my wife, but what you said of how chemo makes you feel, how you lose your taste, that's exactly what I said to her. But she couldn't understand until you explained it more simply for her.
I did suggest to a few people before, if you find it difficult, have like a family journal or family diary, leave it in the hallway. If the family members have got questions and you don't necessarily want to answer them face to face, you can write it in there and then you can respond. If you've gone through treatment and you've come out the other end and you've got all the documentation and things you've written down, it's so amazing to look back on and see how far you've come. That will give you strength sometimes. And then you're not actually physically speaking to anybody, but your family and friends are able to see what's written down and you're able to see what's written down, and it's not overwhelming or causing you anxiety because you feel like you have to speak.
With the treatment, you can live a normal life, which I'm trying to live.
I think it's important for us all within the community to open up and talk about cancer, to talk about myeloma, because the more we know, the more we can help each other and the more we will feel that we are not alone, because in the end of it all, the more knowledge we have, we know that knowledge is power.
Awareness grows when we share, know the signs, talk about myeloma. Visit myeloma.org.uk and raceequalityfoundation.org.uk.